Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And you guessed it, yet another amazing guest this morning, my friends. We have Joe Wagner coming in. Full-time HVAC service manager is going to share his tips to draw in followers through authentic marketing and putting out content. We're going to learn about how he's doing it, what his journey's been like getting started. This show's all about interviewing clients who have come through our challenge and our curriculum and understanding what the process and the journey's been like and hearing it straight from them. With that being said, let's get into today's show. Joe Wagner, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
All right, my friend. How about yourself, man?
Pretty good. I'm happy to be on the show. I never thought that would happen.
No, why not?
It's just the start was a little rocky, so I didn't even think that it would take this amount of time to get where we're at now.
Yeah,
So,
no, I hear you, man. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. So,
hmm
talk to us about what motivated you to want to do all this in the first place.
so I always had some sort of side hustle going on. When I met my wife, I was doing a e-commerce kind of situation where I knew the money was there. I knew it was definitely something to do, but with digital marketing you don't have products or anything like that, and that was my biggest um, downfall, was dealing with the shipping, dealing with returns and all that. So I kind of like pushed that to the side, and then about January I saw your stuff and I was like, all right, let me go into this again full throttle, because I know that everything that I was upset about with e-commerce was handled at that point, because digital, you're not really worried too much about that. um, so it
Nice.
started in January of
2024.
2024.
Okay, so you have the e-commerce experience that I talk about in early videos in the challenge and kind of throughout the challenge to help the student going through to understand why we focus on selling information products. Some people call them digital products. Um, they are called that too. A digital product is typically selling information. That's what makes it digital. Primarily, the only thing that's really digital in this day and age is, the social media that we interact with every day, um, the the information that we consume, the courses that we take. I mean, although we're oftentimes consuming it through a physical device, it is still the person already has that physical device. That's kind of the beautiful thing. That's kind of the thing that I think it's important for everybody to remember, is that the person, we're like selling games on a video game platform where they already have the video game console and
Exactly.
the games are digital. And you can kind of understand how it might be, how somebody could enter that world, right? Okay, they already have the Nintendo Wii. I'm just going to make games for that platform. Well, people already have the internet, they already have the phone and or the laptop. So we're creating content. Some of that content is free. It's on social media to sort of advertise ourselves. And then some of that content is paid behind a paywall that is the more advanced, detailed curriculum or information. And and I've always liked that model, Joe, over physical products, because first of all, I just didn't get into physical products. And every time I did go to look at it, I saw so many potential hurdles, many of which we went through big time, or I didn't, but people who were in that business went through, over the pandemic, right? With the supply
Hmm.
chains and so forth. So what was your specific experience about why that didn't work? Did you never really get it off the ground, or was there some other specific hiccup in the growth?
Um, it wasn't so much the growth. That was the easy part. The hard part was handling the returns,
Mhm.
handling shipping, distribution, because it was mostly drop shipping. And then I got to a point where, I knew that every month I sold this amount of product, I would try and get it in, and have it. And then when it was time to sell it, it would, it would go. And then of course, what happens with that is it sits in your garage for, a little while because you think you're going to sell like 20 or 30 of them and you only sell two. So, having the upfront cost of inventory and like all those things, plays a role. And it's more of a headache than not.
Can anybody relate to this? I relate to this in the network marketing world where I would join, and I did this many times over you know, I always would sort of test the waters with a new MLM. If something came out for about the first 5 years of my career, or even a couple of years, I'd say I was in 3 or 4 MLMs in like the first couple of years of me coming even into that's what I started out with. You know what I'm talking about, like an Herbalife or something. Well,
Yeah.
hey, let me tell you something. Those guys are the best at filling your garage up, okay,
Hmm.
with product. I don't know about you. But if you've never, or your mama or your aunt ain't never, or your uncle ain't never been in an MLM, boy, they will sell you. I mean, I had bulk inventory, and yeah, it ends up just being another headache, right? If you
Yeah.
can't move it, or if it expires, or you know, in your case, you named a couple of other headaches too that go along with that physical products model. We talk about that in the challenge and throughout the challenge, the learn, launch, lead 5-day challenge. Go through that, and we will break down to you all who are listening to this why I have stuck with this selling of digital or information products for the past 15 years. As you're going through the challenge, Joe, what light bulbs went off for you that made it make sense?
So I would say the ease of implementing everything, because you didn't really have, well, I didn't have much of a learning curve because most of it was pretty much the same. Doing it, free advertising, on social media, because we were running ads for, the e-commerce, but the you didn't really have any overhead, because you were doing your content for free on, Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. So really, that was, the biggest eye opener there. We lost your audio.
All right. That was one of the headaches you mentioned about physical products or e-commerce or drop shipping, was that a lot of times you got to front the dough, man,
Hmm.
to buy the product, to either stock it in your garage or whatever, which is like, come on, you don't want to do
Tripping
that.
over the stuff and,
I mean,
moving it around. How come this didn't sell yet?
it's horrible. It's
Yeah.
horrible. It's not a. I don't know. I like a clean environment. I don't want to be stockpiling any products, especially not any crap. You know, I don't
Yeah.
want to be stockpiling any crap from China that I ordered off of Alibaba or whatever. Um, you know, this it's pretty wild, man, because you can kind of start this business without hardly, I mean, I call it low to no cost. It's pretty extraordinary, starting with affiliate marketing, selling other people's courses, and ultimately you can be an affiliate for other people's physical products too. That does exist, and it's there's nothing wrong with that. I think our point, one of the big points for me in teaching these core 4 business models that we teach in our challenge, that we teach in our blueprints, that we harp and that we've never deviated from here at Legendary. The power of that is in the simplicity of it. It's in the fact that you really can apply that affiliate model to really any other business. It's just joint venturing with somebody. It's sending them a customer and them actually having having a system for them to actually compensate you for the lead. That's why we like internet marketing so much, because we can use tracking systems to ensure that if you refer a customer, you actually get paid for it, versus the kind of word of mouth where you spend times talking about things and sharing them with people, but don't get compensated, which is fine too. But if there's a way to get compensated and it doesn't get in the way of anything, why not do it? And that's what we do with affiliate marketing. And that's the barrier to entry. It's not stockpiling products or anything. What else do you remember sticking out to you, Joe?
Well,
And what have you enjoyed the most over the last, right? I want to talk about your struggles too, and I want to talk about things that you wish you'd done differently, but you're coming from a unique perspective. So I'm just wondering, what other things did you either were attractive or have become attractive about this versus the physical products business models you were doing before?
so starting in January, I thought I had an idea of what I wanted everything to kind of be about, and I ended up probably posting content for, I don't know, maybe 2 or maybe 3 months, and then I was like, I didn't like the direction of what that was going, so I started an entire new page. And then, at the beginning, you think your videos are really good, and you're trying to put a lot of effort into it, and the ones that ended up being the weirdest ones had the most views and the most comments and everything like that. I thoroughly enjoyed where, I'd say these last few months I've had the most growth on Instagram, and the conversations I've had with people in the DMs, and I actually started a daily email for my email list where, because I still, work a full-time job, I am just kind of going through like what everyone would be thinking that day going to their job. So that would be what my email would be about for the day. And, just kind of, I enjoyed that, kind of almost like venting, but still having like, a light at the end of the tunnel, like, this is my issue with Mondays and, Tuesday. I haven't done the Tuesday one yet, but, still it's just, and in doing it in the moment, I think I have more information because, you're going through your day at that moment. At the end of the day, or trying to plan something like that out is a little difficult. So I haven't quite figured that part out. But I do thoroughly enjoy doing that. I think I've gotten quite a few signups from that, from the email. And then people back and forth on email, conversating. I think I've had a couple Instagram calls, which I didn't even know that was a thing. Somebody called me through Instagram and I answered it, and we had like a 45-minute conversation. It was actually really awesome. So like connecting with people genuinely, like I enjoy that. That was kind of awesome.
Yeah, nice to actually like your customers and be in contact with the people that you're selling to, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that is different about this than just selling physical like wares, gadgets, gazmos, trinkets, various things that you can drop ship and stuff, which you're in many cases buying off of sites like Alibaba out of China and trying to resell them. You don't want to interact with that customer because you know that customer is going to likely be disappointed with that product and it's not a great product. So it's not like you're putting your face all over the website. No drop shipper is putting their face all over their website. But with this, you are putting your brand, you are having conversations with people, you are interacting, you are adding value to people's lives. You are connecting on social media, being social and sharing things that you found that you like and that worked. And because social media, the digital platform allows us, or the internet allows us to create tracking, we can track those referrals and you can get paid. It's such a beautiful thing, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it gets more exciting the more success you have. It just kind of motivates you more to do, more things. You know, just like going through the blueprints again. Actually, I'm looking more into the second part of the products, the digital products, or creating courses and stuff like that. I'm just working on that now. It's just fun.
Well, we updated that completely. A powerful program, and I think you're going to love it. And I know you'll do great with as you begin to branch out and evolve your business model into those digital products, creating your own courses or selling one-off hybrid workshops, things of that nature. That's wonderful to hear. You're in your first year, man, of this business taking off for you and you building your belief, seeing that you can make sales with it, and that's a beautiful chapter that you're in right now. What means the most to you, or what are you looking forward to as you move into the end of the year here in 2025? Um, does this feel real to you yet, and something that you may eventually want to transition fully into, quit your job? Do you see yourself doing this full time? Take us a little bit into kind of what your thought process is now, 9, 10 months into it, having had some success after having some challenges, but sticking with it.
I guess I would say almost every side hustle I've ever tried was a means to fund something else. Like the e-commerce thing, it went as far as it could go. It ended up funding something else to do. Or this point, I think it's just going to end up funding my lifestyle until, I can fully transition into it. That's probably going to be where I want to take that, and learning about all the automation stuff, just that make things so much easier. So I'm not responding to, 100 or 200 comments every day. Just trying to find things that I can still be a part of, still have control of within the business, and still grow without adding any staff. Will definitely, be the best.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And you're in this place right now to where you're learning these foundational skills that everything that I needed to know for the rest of my marketing career, I learned in like the first year or two, you know? And so I think that there's this idea that it's always going to suck, or there's always going to be tons of stuff to learn. But it's really just that the traffic platforms change and evolve. The ways in which you get traffic will change and evolve. But for the most part, everything else has stayed the same. There's not a better way to sell right now than through a sales funnel and delivering that information through some sort of a learning platform, sort of like we do here at Legendary. Um, the affiliate model remains such a brilliant marketing model for companies to have influencers and everyday people and other big brands promote their products and be able to get compensated to drive revenue. It's you go to every website out there darn near of a legitimate company, you scroll down to the bottom of their website or somewhere on their website, they've got a place for you to sign up as an affiliate.
I do.
you
Everybody.
know it's a companies are using this model to drive real revenue, significant revenue. Some of the biggest companies in the world are thriving because of their affiliate partners, because of how they joint venture. You don't get to where you either buy the advert. I mean, the way you build a business is you either buy the advertising or you network for it or guerrilla market for it. And joint venturing is that way, where you go to somebody and say, hey, I got a way for you to get paid to promote my product that I think will help your audience.
Yeah, that's an excellent business model for
It
sure.
is. And it's never going to go away because it's always been around. You just either got paid or didn't get paid for sharing something that you thought would help somebody,
Hmm.
which is all we're doing. Is you're creating a page on social media around a specific topic to attract people to that page so you can help them with solutions to a specific problem. And that's it. Hustle up with Joe, right? You're talking about side hustles. You're talking about making money. You're talking about building businesses, right? You're talking about online marketing on your channel.
Yeah.
So you're helping you, who you were and who you have kind of always been at when I listen to your story, right? Into side hustles, looking for ways to make extra income.
Yeah.
That's been your passion, your hobby. So you're turning around now in your business and you're helping a previous version of yourself. And did that make choosing a niche a little bit easier for you as well and help you to understand how to connect with those people that you're talking to?
It did, and I think that's why the first one was kind of a scratch, because I didn't know where I wanted to go with the first page, and once I kind of, a few months in, kind of realized what I liked and what I ended up doing, and that's why, like, the second page when I made it, I felt more like, okay, yeah, this is what I enjoyed back then, so it kind of makes more sense. And hearing you say that now, kind of makes sense because I didn't, it was all in here. So
Yeah, putting what the words that I said just kind of matched with the process that you went through mentally.
absolutely.
And we're kind of thinking about, yeah, that's cool. So let's talk about mentally mindset for a moment. We recently launched a brand new confidence challenge. It's a 5 day powerful experience. Well, I say experience because there's multiple modalities to this course. There's video, there's audio, there's interaction with an advisor. There's lots of different ways in which you'll grow and learn through this challenge. Talk to us a little bit about how your confidence has developed over the last 9 to 10 months.
So it's been, I would say, rocky because I broke my leg in May, so I had a whole bunch of time on my hands. Um, that really kind of was a turning point for me. It's that, okay, I have to really discipline myself because it's so easy not to. When you want to do something, it's like, okay, you find excuses not to. When you get to that point where, okay, you have nothing to do but this, you kind of, change your mentality a little bit. And that was really like a turning point for me where, still I wasn't, I didn't have a whole bunch of followers. I didn't have any signups or anything at that point, not until I would say closer to, what, October. So I've already been healed and back by, August. So that in that time, developing processes of how I was going to post every day, making sure that everything that I was posting about kind of made sense, and then actually really going into the stories and talking to people in stories, my current followers, and then redoing my emails, automation, so everything that went out was generally written from me, so it kind of looks personal, instead of like robotic and, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this. It was more, look, this is what I'm going through. It's just like anybody else is going through something, that really motivates you to, change and discipline you.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about going through the detailed aspects of your business and dialing in those marketing elements that we teach and that you've learned about. I can tell that you're talking about the very things that when you go in and work on and just knock them out, they become a they become a powerful element inside of your business that actually drives revenue. And the first time a sale comes through, you get to see that. You know, you can even track. I know that we provide within our affiliate back office the ability for people to create unique tracking links at the end of their affiliate link. So even when a sale comes through, you could see, did that come from my email? Did that come from my YouTube? Did that come from my Instagram? You can add the little TID, just type it in right there on the link page, and it creates the link for you. Just copy it, but it just adds a question mark TID equals, and then whatever the email or IG is. But my point is that, marketing allows you to see as much as you're willing to look at. And the data, if you as granular as you want to go, as much as you want to make this business something that you understand all the moving parts and all the specific buttons you can push in order to make it make more money. And one of them is what you're talking about, writing personalized emails that when somebody gets them in their email inbox, it doesn't sound like a spammy piece of crap that is regurgitated or written by AI or is solely simply pitching something.
Mhm.
Right? Say more about that and how we get too pitchy at the beginning, and don't realize how salesy we sound. And the actual thing that sells the best that I've discovered is education-based selling. Um, how are you now? And that can be through story, that can be through analogies, that can be through straight out teaching a lesson. But how did you specifically go from being less salesy to more education based and valuable for people to want to read those emails that you're writing?
I think the headline probably makes a difference. Thinking about what someone might be going on in their mind that day kind of helps because then I can, okay, if somebody sees this headline, like, looks like you got the Mondays, someone, who's working a 9 to 5, because I know I would click it. And so going through and kind of putting myself in my own mind, like what I would do. And if I was in that point of their life where I was struggling, instead of just guiding them towards, your product, kind of talking to them a little bit more about where they're at. And, when I get a response or, we go back and forth on email, it kind of, it builds more of a conversation. And I think that really helps because I'm using myself kind of at that point as the person who I'm talking to.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense, brother. What have you learned about yourself, man, throughout this journey here over this last 10 months or so?
Oh, I asked myself that question the other day, and I asked my wife that question. um, Really, just I would say more disciplined. Being able to manage my time better would be, I would say, the number one thing, and knowing that if I say I'm going to do something, I'll just do it instead of procrastinate on it because there's always time. If it takes 5 minutes, if it takes 10 minutes, you could find the time to do it. I
Hmm.
would say that's probably the number one thing.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Just knock it out, right? Just get
Yeah,
it done. Were
yeah.
you somebody in the past who procrastinated a lot, started things, didn't finish them? I mean, how would you describe yourself before versus now?
I would say before, yeah, if it didn't interest me enough, I would start it and it kind of fade off. Knowing that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and if you implement the right strategies, even the stuff that you don't like doing and you get it done, it ends up working out. Especially if they're following a a course that has been kind of tried and true for quite a long time, and everything in your course is so laid out. It's laid out perfectly, so you can kind of go through the parts that you're looking to build upon and implement that. So I would say definitely, I would say mindset change for everyone starting this is probably one of the biggest things. Like thinking that it's not going to happen or it's not going to work, or why doing this? How is this going to make me any money?
Yeah.
People don't see that at first.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. Thinking long term, it's hard to see past or get out of that desperation mode, I guess. Is that what you felt, or what did you feel at the beginning that you had to get out of that mindset? Was there a specific mindset that you feel like you were in that you just needed to get out of, or eventually did get out of at a certain maybe month throughout this year?
Um, I would say probably when I first got into it, I wasn't really sure, um, about what was going to happen. So thinking about anything long term, because we're all spoiled by social media and the instant, gratification. You click a button and you got what you want right then and there. So when people are, you know, programmed for that, it's kind of hard to get out of that mindset. So thinking about that, the instant, gratification, kind of getting that out of the way, and knowing that this is not going to be a quick thing, I think was the hardest thing to get over, and staying
Yeah,
consistent.
yeah. Totally, man. I mean, you're just speaking very practical stuff, and these are the simple like shifts that we. I mean, isn't this true with everything? It's not going to be an overnight thing. It's not like
Mhm.
that's a big shift to just kind of settle into something and say, okay, I'm going to like commit to this. I'm going to actually commit to this. I think that a lot of people have issues with commitment because we want to kind of have our feet in multiple things, and we don't want to fully commit because what if it doesn't work out? I want to also be doing this thing. And we kind of want to have our cake and eat it too. And the people who say, you know what, I'm just going to fully focus on this, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a business, and I'm going to see it through. I'm going to really invest and try to nurture and grow this thing. And I believe it's really the only way to get results with something.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Anything that's important. Think about fatherhood or motherhood, or think about a relationship or a marriage. Think about a business. These important things. Think about even home ownership or car ownership. You can't neglect things for long periods of time. You have to keep up with it daily. It's sort of like having a kid. We learn this when we have a kid. It's like, oh my God, this is not I'm actually this child's parent 24 hours a day, even when they're not
Mhm.
with me. If something happens, they call me. So the same thing is true with a business. It's got unlimited upside, but it's also got those downsides that you handle at first and eventually you outsource and you put people in those positions as your business grows. And so,
Yeah.
Joe, hey, for practicality, brother, for just simplicity, and for you finally finding something that you can have some success with, and that is virtual and digital, and just thrilled for you. Very happy. Keep up the great work. Looking
Thank
forward to
you.
continue to help you grow, have you back on the show, and stay legendary, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Dave. Awesome to meet you.
Okay, my friend, you as well, and everybody, you can connect with Joe at Hustle Up with Joe over on Instagram, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy. Okay,
All right. Take care.
see ya, see ya. All right, my friends. As I said, you can find and follow Joe over at Hustle Up with Joe. He is on Instagram at Hustle Up with Joe. We have a mastermind coming up. We have a mastermind coming up January 31st through February 2nd in Austin, Texas. Get your ticket at legendarymarketerofficial.com. legendarymarketer.com/enroll. Same thing with enrolling inside of our brand new confidence challenge. You can find information about our other challenge there as well too, our Learn, Launch, Lead challenge. If you want to become an affiliate, we talked a lot about affiliate marketing today. We have an affiliate program here at Legendary. You can learn about it, join it at legendarymarketer.com. Click on affiliates on the main website. My friends, one last thing. We have the Legends of Marketing Summit that's coming up right around the corner. And we would love to have you on. We would love to have you with us for the Legends of Marketing Summit. You can go to legendarymarketer.com/summit, legendarymarketer.com/summit for information about that. The page will look, let's see, what is that? Share screen. The page will look like this. Okay. Information, order form, secure your spot, bada boom, bada bang. Everybody should be there. It's going to be Sean Sorrentos, Kelly Roberts, Sarah Thompson, Kim Ballum, Amy Hires, hosted by me, yours truly. It's really going to be a powerful day, November 25th. That's right around the corner. It is 5 days away. It is going to be a incredible training, and you're not going to want to miss it. I promise. You can get all the information about what is going to be covered, what we're going to be doing that day, making sure that you have all the information that you can have to be able to maximize the rest of the year inside of your marketing business is going to be the smartest thing you can do right now. And we're going to be talking about, obviously, all of the things that these folks are doing right now to build their audience, to convert that audience into sales, but also what can you do this season in order to have the best holiday season in your business? What angles can you use? You may walk away from this training with one idea about a promotion, about an approach, about a campaign that you can run through the end of the year. Also, how do you launch? What are some of the angles, the things you can talk about? These are going to be some of the most powerful things. These are going to be what I'm specifically talking about. As I'm hosting the training, I'm going to be talking about how do you maximize Q4 and Q1 in terms of your marketing messages, your marketing angles, what worked the best, specific language, specific approaches, messaging. This is a time where marketing is psychology. The better the psychology is, the less heavy lifting you have to do. You actually want something that makes so much sense. It's so compelling that you don't really have to convince somebody of it. This is what I'm going to be talking about specifically, and each person who's training that day is going to have their own specific piece of marketing gold that is going to be probably worth 10 times the price of admission just from one speaker. So be there or be square. My friends, all right, today's going to be a backwards hat throw. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Thanks again, Joe, for a great episode and a great show. You can find Joe and follow him over on Instagram at Hustle Up with Joe. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. Get out of here, my friends. Peace.